If you've ever opened HBO Max, stared at the screen for 20 minutes, and still had no idea what to watch, this video is for you. Here are the best movies and series worth your time. Number 1. His Dark Materials. This is a fantasy drama released between 2019 and 2022, based on the trilogy of novels by Philip Pullman. A young girl sets out to rescue her kidnapped friend while seeking answers about a mysterious force called dust. As she presses forward, she becomes entangled in a web of dark secrets, with the Magisterium tightening its control over magic and the bond with demons. Along the way, she faces powerful enemies and discovers a destiny far greater than she ever imagined. I recently rewatched all 3 seasons, and I believe this is how a fantasy story should be told. At the end of the rewatch, I was sobbing exactly as I did the first time around. I loved the characters. I cared for them as if they were friends who took me on an adventure. Every minute of this show meant something to me, and I don't know who we should beg to get more fantasy like His Dark Materials. Can you imagine The Witcher if they didn't decide to butcher it and kept listening to Henry Cavill instead? Or if the whimsy of Stardust could be replicated in a TV show? How I wish we could see the magic of the Northern Lights in a new fantasy film. I said it in the past, but this channel is named after creatures who devour stories. That's what keeps them alive. It nourishes them, it gives them hope, and, well, I need countless stories too. And I thank you for being here, giving me the chance to chat about stories, dream and forget about my real life for a few minutes. If you've never given a chance to His Dark Materials because maybe you thought it was meant for children or teenagers, you weren't sure whether this would be for you, just know that it's a brilliant fantasy show with high production value and great acting. Number 2. Mare of Easttown. This is a 2021 crime drama. A detective in a small Pennsylvania town investigates a local murder while dealing with personal turmoil and the breakdown of her family. Obsessed with the disappearance of a close friend's daughter, her emotional battles and strained relationships complicate her search for answers. There's a potential second season coming in a few years, though this was meant to be a miniseries with a character arc and all, so you don't have to wait for a second season to enjoy it. Kate Winslet has so much range. This is not her typical role. It's devastating, and it wouldn't be the same without her incredible acting skills. If you're into grim crime dramas, this will hook you from episode 1, and I'm sure you will enjoy it if you don't mind a bit of a slower pace, which here allows for an exploration of all characters. Number 3. True Detective. This is an anthology crime drama, initially released in 2014 and still ongoing, but here we're just talking about season 1. 2 detectives, once partners in Louisiana in the 90s, are reunited to revisit their most infamous case, investigating a ritualistic murder tied to folk traditions in the Deep South. They are forced to confront their own flaws and the impact the case has on their lives. We've had 4 seasons so far. I don't remember anything from season 2 and 3, but I distinctly remember the gripping storytelling in season 1, which has non-linear narrative. And I couldn't believe that up until this release, Matthew McConaughey was mostly known for rom-com roles. He was born to star in True Detective. I initially enjoyed season 4 too, because of the setting. Anything set in the snow, it's for me. But none of the other seasons matches season 1. And the opening credits, the soundtrack, that was incredible. Number 4. The Outsider. This is a 2020 crime horror drama based on the 2018 novel of the same name by Stephen King. What begins as a simple investigation into the gruesome murder of a young boy quickly takes a disturbing turn when a malevolent supernatural force enters the case. As a veteran detective and an unorthodox investigator dig deeper, they are forced to question everything they thought they knew. This is a miniseries that has a great start. Some people find it slow or confusing. I appreciated the absence of cheap horror tropes because this show earns your attention at its own pace but cleverly. in my opinion. If you're into investigative, supernatural suspense shows, this will be thoroughly enjoyable. I read reviews by people who read the book and were disappointed by the show, but since I have not read the source material, I was satisfied. If you loved True Detective, this has a similar atmosphere. Number 5. It Welcome to Derry. This is a 2025 supernatural horror based on Stephen King's 1986 novel It. In 1962, a family moves to Derry, Maine, just as a young boy goes missing, and soon after, strange and terrible events begin to unfold in the town. Amidst a series of mysterious disappearances, a group of misfit friends begins to suspect that an ancient evil has awoken. As they seek the truth, tensions rise, with the town's residents and a covert military operation pushing to control the dark forces at play. This series is a prequel to the films. Saying that Welcome to Derry was a sensation is an understatement. Nobody expected the show to be such a big hit, and I'm no different. After months watching increasingly scary horror, both movies and TV shows, I was eventually able to handle this series, but 1 year ago I couldn't have done it. This is worth watching. I thought it was better than Stranger Things, but take this as an unusual take, since I didn't love Stranger Things and only started watching it last year or so. I have yet to catch up with the final season, for example, if this doesn't tell you how little I crave it. Whereas I wanted to know all about the plot of Welcome to Derry. I was curious and I can recommend it despite my fear of clowns. Number 6. The Flight Attendant. This is a dark comedy mystery thriller drama released between 2020 and 2022 based on the 2018 novel of the same name. A troubled, hard-drinking flight attendant wakes up in an unfamiliar hotel room next to a dead man with no recollection of the previous night. Struggling to reconstruct the events, she begins to suspect she might be responsible for his death. Her world begins to collapse as she confronts the possibility that she could be a killer. There are 2 seasons of this show. Maybe don't watch it if you're struggling with addiction. It was refreshing, funny, a bit quirky, and at times I couldn't stand the protagonist, but I mean, it made sense. Her friends struggled too. I didn't even plan on watching this, as I know there are outstanding shows on the platform, but I wasn't in the mood or they didn't feel safe for me to watch right now. For example, The Pit, or I wasn't in the mood for The Penguin, so I received multiple recommendations for shows that are way more popular than this one and the other ones that I just recommended, but I didn't feel like watching those, maybe at some point. And this is also one of the reasons why you may not find the most popular HBO Max shows on this list. Number 7. Caddo Lake. This is a sci-fi thriller drama movie released in 2024. The disappearance of an 8-year-old girl on Caddo Lake sets off a chain of events that reveal a long-hidden mystery connecting past deaths and vanishings. As the investigation unfolds, shocking revelations force a fractured family to confront its past. What begins as a missing person case soon leads to a web of secrets that have haunted the area for decades. Without spoiling anything, this is surprising. It's criminally underrated, and I wish I could tell you why this is worth your time, but I would spoil it. If it helps convincing you, M. Night Shyamalan was involved in the production of this movie. If you loved Dark, you should give this a go. Be patient, even if at first this may seem an average film, it's not, and your patience will be rewarded. Number 8. Something the Lord Made. This is a 2004 biographical drama film based on the National Magazine Award-winning Washingtonian Magazine article Like Something the Lord Made. In the 1940s, a white surgeon and a black lab technician revolutionized heart surgery. Vivian Thomas, originally hired as a janitor, demonstrates his remarkable skill and becomes essential to Alfred Blaylock's research on infant heart disease. Together they face the challenges of a racist system as they work to change the future of medical science. This was a made-for-TV film, which is one of the possible reasons you might have missed it. If you liked The Gifted Hands, the Ben Carson story, this is even better, I believe. But they're quite similar and both inspirational and tearjerkers if you're anything like me. Do you miss Alan Rickman? Are you looking for a Black Pioneers story? Then this is for you. Number 9. Kimi. This is a thriller film released in 2022. Working as a voice stream interpreter, a reclusive tech worker listens to countless anonymous audio files, a job that fits her agoraphobic lifestyle. When she discovers recorded evidence of a violent crime, her attempt to report it is met with resistance. In her search for justice, she must face her greatest fear, leaving the safety of her apartment. This movie is not outstanding, and although I struggled finding brilliant movies on HBO Max, this and the next one are not bad. But if you can only choose one movie on this list, that should be Caddo Lake. If you've ever watched the series Next, this reminds me of it. On top of the tech side, we also explore agoraphobia and what it entails, which was quite fascinating and at times relatable. Number 10. Einstein and Eddington. This is a 2008 British drama film loosely based on true events. A brilliant physicist struggles to prove his groundbreaking theory of general relativity in a world that doubts his work. When a British astrophysicist steps forward to support his ideas, the two men must face both scientific opposition and personal challenges. Their collaboration sets the stage for a historic moment that will forever change the understanding of the universe. This is another made-for-TV film, and I would recommend it specifically because David Tennant and Andy Serkis are starring in it, so this should be a sufficient reason for you to check it out. But it's once again an inspirational story loosely based on true events that actually made history, just like something the Lord made. So if you're into that, you should check it out. Have you ever watched any of these? And if you have any movie recommendations on HBO Max, please do share them down below, because as I said, I struggled finding really good ones. And forgive me if I haven't watched some of your recommendations yet, because I truly wasn't feeling that good, and those would have affected me too much. If you're a sensitive person or if you have health issues and so on, you might know what I mean. And now that you watched this, check out the video on the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.